wears his sunglasses at night, so he...
Game 14 recap. I guess we could say the Rockies were rocked tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Game 14 recap. I'm Brian. That's Tim. I don't know why you need to know our names. We've done 28 of these.
In fairness, we've never actually introed ourselves.
That's true, yeah. To be clear, yes. I am Brian. I am the teacher. That is Tim.
I'm the finance guy.
Yes.
Although I liked you introducing me. If you could continue to do that for me.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Should we give our heights and weights and biostats at this point?
No, definitely not going to do that.
Okay.
I feel uncomfortable doing that. Marlins Park. Was it? So you said you had low expectations going in.
I had heard nothing but bad things about Marlins Park, excuse me, and it did not live up to those low expectations. I was surprised.
Yeah.
It is definitely different.
Yes.
But I don't think it was befitting of the terrible. I don't know, the infamy that it almost lived with,
Sure.
with regard to what it was all about. Yes, it was new. Yes, it had different things, but it wasn't bad.
True.
I think I remarked right when we walked. Well, not right when we walked in. We kind of got a little bit of the lay of the land, and I think I remarked that I wouldn't mind if this was my home team's ballpark. Like I would go see my home team in this thing.
Yeah. I too felt that way, except for I had fairly high expectations going in. Just as far as I knew that it was going to be different, and I was excited to see something different, something that wasn't, another ballpark. And from the walk-in, it is definitely not like any other ballpark.
No.
There is no red brick facade there.
So people were saying it looks too much like a spaceship. It does definitely have a new agey feel on the outside.
Yeah.
That feel doesn't exactly translate on the inside, which I found interesting. Like I don't feel super high tech when I get in there.
No.
I did feel like it was a nightclub walking in from the outside though. Like it had a whole bunch of liquor ads. They had like this weird black light in the window behind it, like tinted windows. There was a couple hype men and like DJs out front.
There was a DJ, yes.
It was definitely a little bit of a nightclub feel, which felt Miami to me, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then you walk in and you get an entirely different Miami feel at that point. And it was lots and lots of color. I believe I analogized it to a Sorry board game.
You did, yes.
If you follow us on Twitter, you should at 30in3430.
Look at that. Look at the Twitter. That's great. No, I love it.
But in reality, I took the entire surrounding concourse and actually parts of the park itself, like actually parts of the seats, are all quadrants of color.
Yes.
So it's blue, green, yellow, and red, and even the in between parts where they meld, you even get half one color, half the other color.
Yes, and they had tiles behind it. So you got tiles of each one.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research on this park. Surprisingly. A slight. I mean, like I read the Wikipedia article.
Brian and I had a little bit of a disagreement at the stadium that carried over into the car. So Brian did a little bit of research, and I think we were both right in certain aspects, and both maybe a little bit wrong in certain aspects. So why don't you?
So what? Okay, the design from the park came from the mind of Jeffrey Laura, who before he was a baseball owner, or he's an art dealer, or was an art dealer, or made his money being an art dealer. So he has a background in art and a background, I would imagine, in design, as far as that goes. So he was the one who picked those 4 quadrants of color, like you were talking about, and he was the kind of vision for the park. And he talked about, in quotes, I did not speak with him, in quotes on the Wikipedia page, he talked about how the vision for the park...
I like how detailed our research is, that it's a Wikipedia page.
Well, I don't want to confuse people thinking that I have the access to talk to the owner of the Marlins, because I don't. Although, again, 30and30for30.com, or the Twitter page, Jeff, if you want to reach out, love to have you on the YouTube channel.
That was good.
Anyways, yeah. So, anyways,
0% chance he contacts us, but that's okay.
So it was all kind of his vision, his idea to bring in Miami, to make it a contemporary ballpark reflecting the surrounding area of Miami, specifically Little Havana, which is based in. I agree, I liked the bright colors. I personally thought that they could have done more trying to embrace the culture of Miami. And
when you say that, you're referring to the music and the music alone, and you're being an
First of all,
music critiquing it.
Okay. Yes, music is a part of it, because music is a large part of culture. You can't disagree with me there.
I can't.
Okay. So, there were a lot of song choices that, in my opinion, didn't accurately reflect the area of Miami. I thought that we would hear a little bit more salsa music. I thought we'd hear a little more Afro-Cuban types of music. Some artists there, maybe even some artists who sang in Spanish. Just because that's what I
let's go away from the music.
It's an assumption. I also thought that there could have been more art throughout the park.
Which
again, my personal opinion, which I just researched, and Jeffrey said that he didn't want a lot of art. He didn't want it to be an art gallery, that's fine. That's his vision, and it's his park.
Yeah.
I thought that I could have done with more. There were like only really 3 pieces of art.
So I think the prevailing thoughts of the park were that it was not nearly as bad as people seemingly think it is.
No. I think a lot of people who don't like the park have never been to the park. I think they see the Marlins.
Let's talk about the abomination amalgamation of whatever that is that's in center field.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you what it is. I saw it. We saw it up close and personal.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was holding the swordfish, the marlin in the back.
Yes.
We both were.
Yeah.
We have absolutely no idea what it is. There's a seagull, there's a sun, there's God only knows what. But it doesn't matter, because what they were going for with that is something different, something unique, something that fits the new agey kind of motif that they have.
Yes.
And in fairness, the whole atmosphere felt like a carnival. They had hype crews that were running around the stadium constantly. They even did wardrobe changes, and it wasn't just one of those like, oh, on the 3rd inning and the 6th inning, this is when the hype crew. No, it was every half inning.
Right.
They were always out there, like trying to get cheers going. Very carnival-y. Those lights, everything was bright lights and flashing. Everything was colorful, very carnival-y.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were going for, at least what I saw.
Yeah.
And I felt like, yes, while that thing looks like I don't know what, it played.
Yeah. It didn't feel out of place in the building.
Yes.
It would feel out of place if you were flipping through channels, or if you saw it on a SportsCenter
Holy
highlight.
God. And you and I both talked about it. Unfortunately, the only thing you see when you look at the outfield is that green color.
Green, yeah.
Which is not the only thing, because that's that color, and then when you come on the other side, it's red, and you come on the other side, it's blue, and you come on the other side, it's yellow.
Yeah.
So that's the problem there, is that
yeah. I think in the context of the park, it works, and I think the park was effective for its goal.
I didn't like the fact that you had to drive there.
Yeah, they allegedly have trolleys that go from the public places, but
you couldn't walk there.
No.
It didn't feel like it was a very communal feel there, especially if that's what they're going for, is community-based. The only bars around it were bars that Miami themselves, like the Marlins themselves,
like part of the parking
built.
structure.
Exactly, so that was that. Yeah. I will say that the roof was very cool. They opened the roof for the fireworks display at the end, and we didn't even know the roof was opening. That's how quiet and smooth it was. It was very cool. It is definitely not the bottom ballpark.
No.
People were telling us it was going to be the worst in baseball.
Sorry,
I gotta tell you, it is not the worst in baseball.
No. Speaking of the worst in baseball,
the Trop
we're on the road right now to Tampa.
Driving through the night, sort of. To say driving through the night, 4 hours doesn't really count. Yeah. But we're gonna go stay at our friend Kristen's place, and she's not being nice enough to put us up for the night. And then we're gonna go see the Trop tomorrow in Tampa.
Yeah. We don't have to thank the Marlins,
but quite the Tampa-Chicago rivalry tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in the pregame.
Totally, we'll do.
We don't have a sign-off. What's the sign-off going to be?
Sign-off.
We got to do another
sign-off. Oh, yeah. Think of something. Think of something. No, I did the other one. Thanks, MLB Cathedrals. That's my thanks for the day.
There you go. Because
15 seconds.
Baseball.
Just counting it down.
I've got nothing. Because baseball without cathedrals wouldn't be a religious experience.
No.